All right, let's talk about some affordable and unique budget cologne fragrance alternatives for the warmer weather. Here's Oud Holidays we'll start out with by Pendora Scents. This is Oud Island by Montal. I haven't smelled the original, but my understanding is this is pretty close representation of the original from people I know that have smelled the original and have this one. So it's citrus, leather, floral, synthetic, and sweet. Really nice fragrance, pretty unique. I don't really have anything like this. It opens really fresh with a little bit of leather, then dries down like sort of a sunscreen type scent with creamy woods. Unisex, right down the middle because it's got these darker, oud notes in it that kind of make it more masculine. But then it's got this tiara flower and some of these tuberose notes that make it more feminine. So it's a right down the middle fragrance to me. It's got this lemon, bergamot, and tangerine, bright citrus out of the gate. Then you get the tuberose, tiara flower, and some other floral notes. And then you get a little bit of like a black leather, musk, labdanum, amber, vanilla, and some tobacco as it dries down. Super interesting fragrance. Really like it. It's definitely unique and doesn't smell cheap, and good performance on this one. Yeah, this is a real nice fragrance. From Dua is this Cuir de Oceanic, which is ocean leather from Memo Paris. Never smelled the original on this, so I don't know how close it is to the original. But they say the original smells a lot like original Acqua di Gio, and this smells a lot like original Acqua di Gio. So it's probably pretty similar to what the real thing smells like. It's interesting, like fresh, aquatic, leathery, spicy citrus fragrance. Really nice. I like to smell the original on this someday. It's a twist on the Acqua di Gio scent DNA, so it's not exactly like that, but you get some similarities. It's basically like a leathery, aquatic, fresh scent profile. It's got lemon, orange, and pink pepper off the gate, so you get those fresh notes with the pink pepper. Then it's got some aquatic notes and some woods, clary sage, and elemi resin. It starts drying down. And then you get the leather. Really, the leather starts hitting you, and some florals and vetiver at the base. But the leather's hitting all the way through this right out of the gate. And yeah, nice fragrance. Definitely pretty unique. It's like an Acqua di Gio with a little more of a leather note on it is how I would describe it. And yeah, this works great in the springtime. Real nice fragrance and definitely unique. All right, I got two budget versions of the 40 knots from Xerjoff. I got Dua, Admiral, and Alexandria Smooth Sailing. Both these are pretty close to the original. I think Xerjoffs are kind of hard to clone. There's these nuances that Xerjoffs always kind of have that are always kind of left out on these clones, but they get you in that ballpark. These are like, both of these are about the same to me. They're about 85% close. I don't know which of these I like better. I've been layering them. They work pretty good. This one's a little stronger. This one's got a little more airiness about it. Maybe just slightly closer to the original because of that airiness, but this one's got better performance. So depends on what you're after. The layering works good of these two, but this is a unique scent profile to me, this whole 40 knots scent profile. When I got into 40 knots, when I first got into fragrances a while back, and I've been doing it a while now, and it's still not an easy one to wrap my head around. I was looking for an aquatic scent profile, and I smelled this like, what is this? Doesn't even make sense to me. So yeah, it's not your typical aquatic scent profile. You got to really wrap your brain around to even see this as like an aquatic scent profile. So they say it's aquatic, and it is to a degree, but it's sweet. It's got this honey note. There's a lot of woods. There's a lot of woody notes, so you can kind of think you're like on a yacht or something, like in a wood yacht. It is fresh, and it's got these spices in it, and it's got these like seawater type notes in it. So it's kind of like a sweet aquatic woody fragrance. Aquatic is questionable to me or whatever. I got to really use my imagination and paint the scene of being out on a yacht, with a real shined up, woody, fancy woodwork and everything to make this work as an aquatic fragrance. But I like it, and the more I play around and keep smelling it, I can wrap my brain around it more and more. And it's definitely interesting and a fun fragrance. And these are really close to the original, but the real Xerjoff is really a super intriguing fragrance. Where there's definitely some nuances to the original. Just kind of addictive. When I wear that one, I keep going back and smelling it, just I guess trying to process it and figure it out. Super unique fragrance, and I enjoy it. I'm enjoying it more and more the more I've been into the fragrance game. So I just keep trying to go back to it and get it all figured out or whatever. And I still haven't done that, to be honest. Next up is Celsius Water from Dua, and it's Aqua Fahrenheit by Dior. And I've never smelled the original on this, but man, I love this. This is great. I like Fahrenheit. I like the original Fahrenheit fragrance, and this is exactly what it should be, you know, an aquatic version of the original. And they toned down that gasoline note, so if you don't like that gasoline note, they've kind of taken that out of this one. You don't get hardly any of that, if any of that at all. It's the violet leaf that's making the gasoline note, so the violet note isn't like amped up with that same kind of a note pronounced in it like the original. So it's fresh, spicy, aquatic, woody, citrus. You get the grapefruit and orange right out of the gate. It's real fresh, right when you spray it on. It doesn't stay fresh for very long. The violet, mint, and basil start taking over, and it kind of rounds it out, makes it you know, more of a citrus fresh fragrance then, instead of just plain citrus. And then right away you start picking up the leather and the vetiver. It's like a dirtier vetiver to kind of give it the woody background in the base of it. So really well blended fragrance, wears nice. It's a fun, uplifting fragrance, and yeah, it doesn't have those that gasoline note. If you don't like that, you don't have to be afraid of that in this formula. And I really like the grapefruit note in this too, and really good performance on this for like a fresh fragrance. And that kind of has that Dior smell that I always like too, so that kind of captured that. So yeah, I don't know how close to the original, like I said, but I really like this one. All right, I love the whole Amen line, and it's a unique fragrance in itself, but this is one of the flankers out of it. This is Cryptobsession from Kevin over at Central Obsessions, and it's Amen Cryptomint from Mugler, the old flanker, and that one was super original. It was the original Amen is very original type fragrance and very unique, and this just next leveled it with this added mint note to it, and they did a good job. I still got a wee little bit left in a decant from years ago. I should have bought a bottle. I was always into the Amen line, and that was out when I was into fragrances, and you know, back when you could get that one, and now there's just no way. It's crazy. But I had the Duo version of this also, and it was pretty good, but I got rid of it. I like this one. I don't even wear it that often. This one I have to be kind of in the mood for, but it is a super nice fragrance. But Heavens is almost dead on. This is almost dead on to the original. It starts out kind of like a green and herbaceous mint, and it's kind of like a sweet mint. Then to dry down, you get the classic Amen DNA with like a creamy patchouli note. You know, it's just fresh, sweet, gourmand, green, a little bit of green, you know, with that mint note, some spiciness. You're getting a lot of mint, geranium, and the Indonesian patchouli with the coffee note, some fresh spices. There's some chocolate, some woods, you know, a lot of patchouli too as it dries down. I love it. It's a great fragrance. It's kind of situational. I got to be in the mood for this one. I don't know why. When I do wear it, I feel like, oh, I'm in the mood now. So if I just put it on, I get in the mood instantly. So it is a nice fragrance, but you know, when you got so many fragrances, it's hard to wrap your head around, you know, jumping into Cryptomint because it's so unique. But that's one of the things I like about it, and that's why it's on this list. All right, the next one up is a super unique scent profile. This is Paris Corner Amir Celestial, and this is a clone of Ganymede. And man, I love Ganymede. It wasn't a love at first sniff though. The first time I wore Ganymede, I told my wife, like, why would anybody want to smell like this? This almost smells like vomit or something. Why would anyone? So we went on a little hike, and I kept smelling it. I was like, no, I don't want to smell like this, and I scrubbed it off. Well, I went to it, back to it a couple of days later, and I don't know, I could understand it immediately. That it just got this really metallic, cold, unique, like otherworldly, outer space type smell to me. It smells like what like a new spaceship would smell like. Like if you were in the future a little bit and you bought yourself a new spaceship, you know, instead of having that new car smell, this is that new spaceship smell. This is gonna be a signature scent profile for me. It's so complex, intoxicating, and they just knocked it out of the ballpark. But I would have to own the original if these clones of this weren't so good. And luckily they can clone this so good. And this one is just stupid close. It's really close to the original. I have a 10 milliliter of the original. I've had a couple 10 milliliters of it, and I keep go back to these clones, and you know, because I keep convincing myself maybe I should get a bottle for my collection, and then I'll wear the clones. Like, there's no reason. This is too close. Yeah, it's got these real nice mineralic notes. It's warm, spicy, some leather. It's musky. Like I said, it's metallic, some floral notes, some fruity notes, a little bit powdery. Just super interesting fragrance. Saffron note in this is really nice. Super complex. Hall of Fame type fragrance to me, and just a really great clone of it. There's other ones out there too that I really like, but this is one of the closest just one-to-one interpretations of it. Really nice fragrance and super unique. All right, next one up's definitely another unique scent profile. This is Dua French Guiana, and it's a clone of Caribs by Amalfi, and so that's a $2,800 fragrance. So I haven't tried that one. probably not going to try that one. This is interesting though. I do like this, and I've tried the Alexandria version too, and it's pretty similar to this. I might like the Alexandria just a little bit better, but it's pretty similar. They're not too far off. It's got labdanum, orchid, sandalwood, and sea breeze. So it's sort of woody, ambery, powdery, balsamic. There's a little bit of muskiness to it. Kind of hard one to describe. It's got like a blue feel to it too, but it does have a slight aquatic notes, but it's not like super aquatic at all. It's kind of like mountain airish to me or whatever. It kind of smells like you're in the like French Guiana in the picture he's got here. I picture it more like a tropical mountain, so by the ocean type scent profile. I like it. It's pretty interesting. I wouldn't mind smelling the original this sometime. I can't imagine what a decant of this would cost. And there's really not that much information on there, but it's definitely like a mountain blue marine vibe to it, and definitely nothing else like it, my correction, and sort of hard to explain also on this one or whatever. I can't really pin down my thoughts on it and give a better description than what I did there. So it's definitely unique. All right, next up, another unique scent profile is Lattafa Atlas, which is a clone of Megamari from Ordo Pariso. And it's definitely a niche aquatic scent profile. There's another one that wasn't love at first sniff for me. Matter of fact, I got a decant of it like the whole first summer. I tried wearing it a few times. I didn't like it. But then the clones started coming out, and I picked up a couple of them and still didn't really like them. And then the following summer when I wore it, all of a sudden just something clicked the first time I wore it, and ever since then it's been a love. So I'm not sure what happens. That's what's fun about fragrances. You can put one away and develop your nose and come back to it, and you have a whole new experience with it. And this is one that really did that big time, because I wasn't a fan of it at all. I don't even know why I bought a couple clones of it, but I did. I was just trying to get into the scent profile, and I was buying everything at that time. And this one came along a little bit later, and this is just like came out last year, and I was already in the scent profile, so I had to pick this one up. This is a twist on the DNA. This is in the ballpark, 80% or so, whatever. It's definitely a marine, salty, aromatic, amber, musky, with these mossy algae type tones to it. So it's definitely like a dirty aquatic scent profile with a lot of musk. It's got a little bit of earthiness to it. So you got to be into that scent profile if you want to mess around with Megamari at all. And it's definitely like a muskiness to it. There is some freshness to it, and citrus and aromatics blended in. It's sort of a zonic and some woody at the base of it too. And the Atlas has a little bit of like florals mixed into it, a little more than the original does. When it dries down, I can kind of smell them more than the original. But I love it. This has got nuclear performance, and it's just a unique scent profile. And out in the air, it works really good, especially on a warm day. This one just hits. I love it. All right, last up is Dua Shine in the Watermelon, which is Watermelon Shine from Copper Still. I have the original, and this is really close. I actually prefer this one a little bit more. I've done a couple side-by-sides, and there's something about this one I like a little more. This one projects even harder than the original, and I kind of like the watermelon note using this one just a little more than the original, and the moonshine note is tweaked a little bit in this one, and I kind of like that. So in both of them, though, the watermelon note is really nice, and there's a nice moonshine note in this. There's this weird note in the background. It's the sassafras. So I don't know if you've smelled sassafras in fragrances, but if you get this fragrance, you're going to smell sassafras. There's a lot of that. There's some honeysuckle, some vine, greenery, and then there's some like white floral notes in it. Really interesting fragrance. I don't have anything else in my collection, and those Copper Still fragrances are really nice. I've tried 3. I don't know if they got any other new ones out, but I like all 3 from that house. And this is a nice, unique scent profile that Dua did here, and they did a great job on this one. Like I said, I even prefer this one over the original, and the original one's really good. If you could like, subscribe, and comment, that helps the algorithm. And me and Inky really appreciate you guys taking the time to watch. And VinceScents.